All right, well, good morning, all you beautiful people out there. It is a beautifully hot Saturday. We are out here, me and Mr. Nutt. We are at Lake Oologah here north of Claremore, Oklahoma. And we are going to take a little ride around the lake and then down to Route 66 and do a little Route 66 ride. And then just kind of talk about some things that Mr. Nutt was talking about or touching on in his video last week without me. Kind of the Harley culture, the Harley design and aesthetics, what we like about it, why we ride Harleys, why we picked Harley, why Harley is our brand. So come on a ride with us. So yeah, Oologah Lake up here is just a really pretty little lake. There's kind of a swimming hole, and then there's RV parking, and it's really easy to get to. It sits just north of Claremore, Oklahoma, and right off of Route 66 and whatnot. So we ride up here kind of, I won't say a lot, but a bit. It's one of our kind of when we need to just get a, we have an hour to burn, and we don't want to be too far away. It's a ride we'll take. So,
one of the things I really like about Oklahoma, being raised in California, you never imagined that, you can go to a lake without a lot of hassle, without a lot of bullshit. And in Oklahoma, you can kind of like get to the lakes and use the lakes. They're never really overcrowded, or it doesn't seem that they are. No. There might be spots, I guess, that kind of get overcrowded that are kind of popular with some of the boating crowds.
Yeah, there's areas, like Grand Lake, it's got its scene, and there's areas of Grand that, it's just the kind of drop anchor and hangout spot, and it can be busy. But overall, there's just so many lakes through the area that there's just no reason for them to be really overcrowded. So I don't see, it's a Saturday, it is a hot Saturday, and the lake is, busy, but it's not overwhelmed where there's no place to park, there's no place to drop your boat and trailer. It's not bad out here at all. And it's beautiful. It's like 90, I don't even know, 99 and a little bit cloudy, but it's pretty.
It's showing that it's 93 right now.
Oh really? I thought my watch said it was hotter, but maybe not. It feels hotter, let me just tell you.
Well, the lakes have been really smooth lately too. When I ride by them, I've noticed that the water's really nice and smooth right now. Sometimes if we get that weather in, it keeps the lakes kind of choppy with the winds.
Right.
So, last week, I went on a ride without Mrs. Nutt.
I know, and it made me sad, and I missed all of you. But I watched his video back, and I was like, oh, you said so many good things, but I would have remembered to say this and this and this. And so maybe we should cut that part out of your video and take a ride next week, and I'll fill in all the blanks. And he said, okay, that's not a bad idea. So, here we are.
So one of the things we focus on here is performance and design. And to me, they go hand in hand. I want my bike, I will give up a lot of comfort for aesthetics. Right. Not necessarily for performance, though. I really like my bike to perform. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't put a ghost pipe on the bike I'm riding. This is our 2019 Streetglide Special. We call it the Beast, and this is a Stage 4 117 that's been built up with an S&S 550 gear-driven cam, the PowerVision Tuner, using the Target auto-tuning module. So it runs the D&D BilletCat pipe, and of course these bikes are twins. We bought these like this on purpose. Yes. We love the idea of having matching bikes. A little goofy maybe, a little too cute for some people in the world of Harley-Davidson. I disagree though, and you know what, I think there are a lot of people who do a lot of matching things around their bikes and on bikes, and so
bought my Scorched orange bike, and then you were looking at buying a Streetglide to make a performance bike, and it was like fate that they had one sitting on the floor, and we're like, oh, well, what are we thinking? Let's get this one, then it'll match my bike, and it'll be fantastic. We'll be so adorable. And then our pipes are both, mine is the D&D BobCat, yours is the D&D BilletCat. So, I mean, we're just matchy, and it's cute. We're adorable. I just have to think so.
We're both running Screamin Eagle air cleaners now since we switched out her S&S Stealth with the Screamin Eagle Extreme air cleaner that's running on her FatBob for her legroom. And I guess we did that. You haven't really done a ride video to give your ride impressions of that.
I haven't done a ride video, but I've ridden this bike more in the last couple weeks since we did that change than I was really wanting to ride it, because it was so, you know, kind of annoying to do. Plus, lowering it made a huge difference, so I was still loving that since we bought the seat and we did the progressive shock and all that. But since we changed the air cleaner, oh my god, every time I get on this bike, I'm just like, oh, this is so wonderful. I love it. My leg has so much room. My foot's not flying off my pegs. I still think I am going to change out the pegs. The Dominion is what we're running right now with the little orange clip ends, which is really cute, and it matches beautifully. But my feet, even with my shoes that are grippy and the whole thing, they still slide off, and so, or they still are pushed, and I'm constantly kind of picking it back up. But at least when I have to pick it back up and kind of replace it, I'm not running into an air cleaner, so my leg is just so much more comfortable. The bike overall is just, I've never had a bike that's so comfortable at any point of all the bikes I've owned and ridden and whatever. This is by far right now the most comfortable bike to ride for what it is. As far as being a soft tail, it's not a long tour. Obviously my Streetglide is still going to have it be in that respect. But as far as getting on and just going for a ride, I'm loving it.
Well, you are completely flat-footed on that bike now.
And I'm so flat-footed, so I'm so confident. My confidence level is just like, I mean, 110%. So I can go anywhere. I can do it any parking job. I can pull it in and out of the garage myself. I can take it to, I can go anywhere. I can ride my nephew with no issues because I'm so confident being flat-footed. That's like a huge difference. It makes all the difference for me.
Yeah, I think low speed, and then of course groundwork when you're stopped, being confident that you got full hold of the motorcycle is really good.
Oh yeah.
But I was talking about design and aesthetics and how they apply to our bikes and some of the decisions we've made, and MrsNutt thought she could add to those.
Well, I think that, you know, one of the things that you talked about in, you know, some of the other things and some of the other people we've watched and whatnot is just, we're Harley people. We're not motorcycle people. I mean, we like bikes. If you, whatever you ride, that's fantastic. But we personally are Harley people. We like everything about the way they design bikes, and the center of, you know, their masterpiece is the engine, and the way they just put it in there, put it in that frame, and everything is built around it without covering it with, you know, plastics or whatever. It's just, it's what we like, and it, you know, it fits us. And the thing, you know, we're Apple people too, because their design is just so clean. I don't care if you want to think it's simple and, you know, you can do so much more on an Android. That's not the point. The point is the simple, clean design. That's what we like. And Harleys are kind of the same way. You know, the Indians, people want to tell you how great the new Indian Challenger is and whatnot, and it might be, and it might have all the accessories and all the features and all the things, but to me, in my opinion, it's kind of an ugly bike. There's just so much going on that doesn't feel consistent in the design. And you kind of touched on that, so I'll kind of let you give me your, your 2 cents.
My biggest thing is we are Harley people for our own reasons, and if you're an Indian person for your own reasons, I can respect that.
For sure.
I can respect whatever motorcycle you love and you ride. The fact is, I love riding.
Yes. Yes.
Riding the bikes that I absolutely love makes it that much better.
Right.
You know, so this is a very personal thing, and don't think that I'm thinking that I'm bigger or
no.
You know, I do think that when it comes to design, because I am a designer by trade, I have a certain focus. So when it comes to Harley, it's kind of the same thing for me. You know, I love the fact that they've got a very, very consistent design culture. I can take that through to the cars that we love, and the trucks that we love, and the Jeeps that we love, and all of those things, and why we do love one brand and don't like another. It really is something that hits me aesthetically or it doesn't. And there are things aesthetically that you can fix, and there are things aesthetically that you can't.
Well, and I think it comes down to, like, you know, you talked about, like, that it feels like some of these things were designed by consensus. And to me, consensus is never the way, because there is kind of right and there's wrong. And then if everybody wants their piece, it just doesn't make a consistent product.
When you have a company with a consistent design culture, everybody kind of plays from the same playbook. Everybody kind of has the same core belief, the same core thought process, and that comes through in design. You can have lots of people's input, but it's all going to still reflect a core principle or a core design principle. And in some of the places where Harley's fallen short and Harley's had to bend to regulatory pressure, you know, that design culture has, in my opinion, saved the brand. And that's why I don't see the brand going away. I watch these videos that talk about, you know,
the death of Harley.
All the shit that they want to talk about. And, you know, it's like, this brand isn't going away. First of all, the brand itself has such a value.
Yes.
You know, the bar and shield.
Yeah, people don't put Hondas on their bodies in tattoos, but they sure do Harleys.
I haven't seen a Goldwing tattoo in a long time. Well, and in the end, you know, understand that, just like I do, that you have different tastes than I do. I have different tastes than a lot of people. And, you know, one of my jobs in life is conveying that type of principle to a company so they can convey that to their audience.
Right.
So it looks like aesthetically, other than grips and mirrors and maybe moto bars, I don't know what else we'll do to the FatBob.
Yeah, I'm not sure what, you know, bars, like, it's, there's a guy who's local, and he actually bought my T-bars that we took off my Heritage and put them on a FatBob. And after having I didn't have a FatBob at the time, obviously I had a Heritage, and, you know, I've seen his bike and I'm like, oh, that kind of is cool. And then we've looked at and talked about the Moto bar, and I kind of like the idea and the look of that. So I'm not 100% sure on what I want to do as far as bars. I'm not uncomfortable with the bars that are on this bike, but I think that, you know, I could change it up. The grips definitely have to go because they're just stock grips. I just haven't decided, you know, which ones, and I haven't wanted to take the time to, you know, give up my bike to have it done, kind of thing. And to do the install. Mirrors are an easy thing. I'll just get some simple mirrors. I like my mirrors on top, so I'm definitely not going to go with anything high with the underneath mirrors. That doesn't suit me. It doesn't suit how I ride. So, and then, yeah, I think changing out the pegs. I've looked at some, what have I looked at? Flow Motorsports. I've looked at all kinds. I just haven't.
Well, and I'm running Flow on the Beast, and I really like my Flow Motorsports pegs.
I really like your Flow ones as well. I just would like something that has the little bit of highlight of orange, because I do think that is a really cool look on this bike. It adds a lot to the bottom because it's all blacked out. So I like that little highlight. I just have to find something that does something similar, if you know what I mean. Like,
right.
If that makes sense.
Well, the moto style pegs are really, really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And they keep your foot in place. They keep you from slipping. They're really kind of nice.
Right. Yeah, I like riding that bike. I like those boards and whatnot a lot on your Beast.
Well, my highway pegs are the Flow Motorsports moto pegs.
Right.
So, you know, on the Beast, we've gone with, actually I've done the Clockworks 5-inch windshield on the Beast, and on my CDO now. I've really fallen in love with this windshield. It leaves a little bit of air behind, but it really does not create the turbulence that the wind splitter from Harley created. It also has a little bit clearer view through the top of it here without distorting. So it starts distorting down in here, but you got a really good clear view through here. I know for the camera that's kind of important because my camera doesn't quite come above the windshield.
And as summer continues, we are hoping to load up our trailer and head out into the world and do some really cool rides. We want to do some stuff up in Wyoming and in Colorado, and, you know, we're just waiting to see what the world is going to do as far as all these
softails and touring bikes is there are destinations that once you get to them, if you're going by motorcycle, you definitely want to take your touring bike to get there.
Right.
Arrive in comfort, and then once you get there, you kind of want your softail to, especially the FatBob.
Yes.
Because the FatBob was made for those types of, you know, tail of the dragon and
right.
pig trail around here and all those nice windy
rides, but nobody wants to ride a FatBob all the way to that place.
Yeah. Well,
so,
you know what? There are people who do.
There are people who do. Don't get me wrong.
And you softail and Dyna touring guys out there, God bless you, man.
Oh my God, yes.
You know, I loved you when I was young, and I'd have been right beside you when I was young. But I'm not young anymore.
No, but that is one of the things, reason we bought, you know, the trailer that'll haul bikes, so that we can have the best of all the worlds. And you know, that's why we do what we do.
So I like the fact that they've kept one of these old bridges up.
Yeah, they
I keep expecting it to disappear.
And someday it probably will, but they always have kept them on like one side, and they get rid of it on the other side. And then sometimes, you know, 5 years later, the other side disappears too. It's what they did over the one as you head out towards Wagner. Is they did one side and they left the bridge, and then they went a couple of years later and took it all out. So it makes you sad a little bit, because they're really cool to see. I've seen a lot of people go through and do like bridge tours on their motorcycles, like, oh, we stopped by 30 bridges today, like covered bridges. I think that's super cool.
Oh, covered bridges are awesome. I don't know if I'm sure there's a covered bridge somewhere in Oklahoma, but I haven't seen it.
I think so, but I know there's obviously, you know, there's some, I think there's some in Arkansas. I'm pretty sure there's some in Mississippi. I don't know specifically. I've just seen that, you know, I see a lot of people who tour on Facebook and groups and things, and I always love to see what people are traveling and doing and seeing on their bikes. I think it's awesome. Yes, I love the work we did on the back end of that, changing out the little antenna for the little plug. What are they called?
Yeah, on the Beast they're the Grommet lights. So we took out the antennas and the antenna plugs. We took off this is all basically Custom Dynamics products. So it's a Custom Dynamics light replacement kit or light elimination kit that eliminates all your stock lights and changes the bracket to a curved bracket. And then we've got the sequential low profile underbag lights. And then the antenna grommet lights, so we don't have the black plugs. The thing that I've still got on the bike, and I've had a couple of people address it, which has been really good advice, is that little black plug down there for the stock frame.
Right.
License plate frame.
Right.
And I think that I got my best advice in Arkansas to replace that with one of the medallions or something that comes with one of the Ultras, I believe, come with medallions in that spot.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I'm looking at those, and I'm also looking at other little medallions to kind of put in there so that I can pull that plastic plug. That is probably the only unattractive thing left on the backside of this bike.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're getting ready to hit off Route 66 onto the 44 and head home.
Yeah. Thanks for coming with us. We always enjoy it. We always enjoy our riding time together, and bringing you with us is always just a bonus. We love sharing the insights about our bikes, and we are always looking for input and info. And any questions that you guys have on things we're doing, please drop them in the comments below. We are happy to answer questions. You know, if there's something about anything you want to know about that you'd like us to do a video on, drop them in the comments. Remember to like our video,